So, make another video. This time it's specific for one student. His name is Garrett, and he's hoping for help on antisocial. I was doing, a bit of research just before this, and I actually stumbled across a very good cover video, which I'm going to link to, where that bass player, he actually plays through the whole song, and from what I'm telling, I don't really see any major mistakes or anything. So then I figured what I'd do is I'd just make this video as kind of like a secondary video to that other video, and from there you can just pick apart, like I'm gonna pick apart just like the small licks that he's doing, versus the other video you can just see like the general gist of things. So there are a couple licks in that song to work on. So first one that I'm going to talk about here, let me first actually begin recording. No, I don't record that one. There we go. So first, and probably the most common lick in the song, you're going to be starting off on your G, moving to a C, then moving to a D, then up to your F, then E, then C. So it's almost like that, kind of like that Green Day thing where you roll around, but now you have a couple extra notes to go along with it. So in order to accomplish this lick, you need to start with your third finger. It is a bit of a finger stretch, but luckily, Garrett, you have a big enough hand that you can accomplish this. So just double check that thumb positioning on your neck to make sure that your hand will be in a position that it can be wide enough to reach that. So I'm going to start off, and you're just going to practice that until it feels comfortable, right? The very first few times you're probably going to or maybe like you'll like mix up which note is where, like, oh, right? So you're just going to do that numerous times until it starts feeling more and more natural. There's actually going to be a decent amount of work on this hand to accomplish that, right? Because you're shifting the span of 3 strings within a very short period of time, about basically a second, right? And so not only do you need to shift those notes, but they also need to be pronounced relatively well heard. You can't just like just slap a bunch of notes together, right? It has to be da na 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 na. So it will take a bit of practice from both hands and your brain to keep track of which notes are correct. So the next part of discussing the song is just to understand that we are in a D minor natural for basically the whole song. And so if you want to do anything extra, make up your own licks or things like that, you're going to be looking at your D minor. So you're going to start at a D, move up with your 3 and your 4, then you're going to do same again, and then so we got D, E, F, G, A, B flat, then we got C, and then finally D again. So once you're comfortable with that scale, then now you can start to improvise if you ever wanted to during the song using that scale. Now there are 2 other things that I want to show to help with ideas for how to play this song, different licks that you can possibly do. Another one, and that is actually present in the song, and is again a very common lick that the bass player will do. And I kind of call this like an Iron Maiden lick, because the Iron Maiden bass player, it's like his #1 lick. Like if you ever learn an Iron Maiden song, you're going to be just expect to do that lick probably 10 times every single song. So what we're going to do is we're going to be starting off on D, moving to G right underneath it, then you're going to up to, that's an A, and then finally hit your octave D. So that's another lick that is very common in that song. And then there's also another lick which I don't think is present in the song, but can fit if you want it to, and I feel like it's just useful bit of information. And that is, I actually first learned it from if you can believe it, a Children of Bodom song. I used to try to play like crazy bass stuff when I was younger, and I've moved away from that now, but I'll always remember that lick, and every once in a while I'll practice it. And so basically you're going from your root immediately up to your third, but with your fourth finger. Then you're going to run down with your third finger, and you're going to do the fifth to the octave, and then you can even jump up to that second. Sorry. So that's another lick that you could utilize in this song. So hopefully with these two videos, the one that I'm going to link and then also this one, it'll help you rip apart this song and be completely confident in your playing of this song. I would say the majority of work is going to be getting quick fingers in this hand, right? Because just give it some practice, give it some time. If you're having trouble remembering the organization or like the layout, the chord structure of the song, I definitely recommend writing this whole song out. Actually, just before I stumbled across the bass cover video that I'm going to link, I was planning on laying out this song because I realized that there was enough changes that I wasn't going to remember everything off the top of my head. So I would recommend to you, Garrett, please write it down. Put it on like a little sticky tab here. I've got a couple right here just that I was working on with my other bands. I'm gonna pull these out and let you look at them. So these right here, just a couple songs that I need to know, right? So they're real short, they're real quick, and they just help me remember what's going on. If I need to, I'll bring these to band practice or whatnot if I need to. Otherwise, just the writing down process is sometimes enough to completely remember. So hopefully you find this helpful and be able to totally destroy the song. Have a good one, Garrett.